Hello and welcome back to the Custom Showcase. Today we are taking a look at a bit of Crosshairs Productions history with Transformers Broken Mirror's original Shattered Glass Wheeljack. This is the original figure which appeared in the Broken Mirror movie and also in the first season of Ascension. This, I think, was one of my first ever full, complete, repaints. The first time I did, an ultrasound bath to clean it, spray paints for base coating, and then a full repaint over it, and then a varnish. So my usual kind of system. So yeah, this guy I made back in 2013. I think it must have been around that time. Fun fact: originally it wasn't going to be Wheeljack in that kind of double trouble role with Bumblebee. It was going to be Topspin, and then I changed it because I think just because it looked weird with a movieverse figure there, and I started getting more cast and a bit more ambitious, so thank goodness for that. So the base figure is obviously Prime Robots in Disguise Wheeljack. He's got the all the Prime aesthetic kind of things, like the kind of spikier, sharper angles and stuff. The generally cooler Wheeljack vibe. I'm still very pleased with the paint job that I gave this guy. There's not really much to say about I didn't do any other modifications to him. It was just a straight repaint. Obviously it's very heavily based on Shattered Glass Wheeljack from the BotCon comics and the Fun Pub stuff, who in turn is based quite strongly on Action Master Slicer from the Action Master line in the 90s. So he's got this really nice kind of dark blue colouring with the bronze and the red detailing there. A lot of my painting experience came from painting Warhammer models, and a lot of the techniques I transferred onto this. You'll notice a lot of artificial painted on highlights, especially on the blue bits there, the arms and the shoulders. Again, another carryover from my Warhammer days, doing those artificial highlights to really bring the figure to life. I don't do that so much nowadays. I prefer the figures to be lit just naturally and let that do all the work, but still very impressive considering I was 15, 16 around that time. So what's going to be interesting is to put him alongside his replacements, so you guys can really see the differences there. So here is Transformers Prime Dark Energon Wheeljack side by side with his predecessor, and yeah, immediately there is a huge difference. They do have very similar colours overall. Dark Energon Wheeljack is a lot lighter, but a lot of that is due to the clear plastic blue that he's got. But they do share things like the bronze and the reds. I'm sure a lot of people are asking, Joe, why'd you swap it out for this new one here? And I'll tell you, it's because I done goofed. When I was originally making this original Wheeljack, like I mentioned before, he went into an ultrasound bath, and this is just to get rid of all the dirt and grime and stuff that's in the kind of crevices, make it a really smooth surface for painting. And I ended up leaving him in there for several hours, which is a bad idea because when I took him out, his joints ended up being quite floppy, and they've gotten worse over time, so I figured it was probably time to change him over. And the start of season 2, with a lot of new changes coming and different designs coming in, it was the perfect opportunity to swap him out. So I won't bother doing a transformation for him because you know how he transforms. You've seen plenty of reviews of Wheeljack being converted, so we'll do a quick switch over to his vehicle mode. And here we have Slicer in, and here we have Shattered Glass Wheeljack in his vehicle mode. And again, I'm really impressed with the paintwork that I did on this guy, especially now you can probably see the windows here have got this kind of gradient effect to them, where it starts quite light at the bottom and then working up gets darker and darker. I think I achieved that with a paint wash or something, but that goes all the way around and it still looks really, really excellent. Again, you can see some more of the artificial highlights I painted on. Obviously too, his lights here are painted, his headlights are painted, the rear lights too are painted. Overall, I did a really fantastic job with this, I gotta say. The only bad thing I can really say about this figure is just an unfortunate side effect of customizing Transformers figures, in that the joints end up being quite stiff because they get painted over, and you can sand them down, but I didn't really know that at the time, so it is a bit of a mare to get them to stick together properly. You can see there's still quite a big gap down the center there where the legs and the arms squish up together. So let's bring Slicer back in for another comparison here. So again, obviously the blues are very different shades because of the translucent plastic. I decided to keep the Slicer figure mostly unchanged. I only put some Decepticon stickers on him there just to signify the change in allegiance, but I didn't make any actual changes to look more similar to the original Shattered Glass Wheeljack. Overall, I think I prefer the original guy. Not to say that this looks bad by any stretch of the imagination, but the amount of effort I actually put into Shattered Glass Wheeljack is really commendable, and he still looks fantastic. Yeah, the main reason that I switched over to this new guy was because he didn't have, this was just the original colouring, and I didn't have to worry too much about scratching paint or anything like that. I'm not sure why I didn't colour in like the headlights and the rear lights, but there you go. So there are those two side by side. Not a lot really to say about this figure. It's just a straight up repaint. Its origins are very very obvious, and yeah, that's basically Shattered Glass Wheeljack for you. So as I mentioned before, Wheeljack got an ultrasound bath and then a black undercoat. Unfortunately, it didn't manage to get everywhere because I was a lazy little boy. So there are still some kind of hints of the original white underneath, but no one's really paying much attention to those, are they? But he got his spray paint, his spray coat, with black primer. Painted him with Vallejo paint. I can't remember the original shades I did for this, but I would imagine it's something like a kind of midnight or night blue, something like that. And then he got several layers of varnish to protect the paint. And there you go. That is Broken Mirror Shattered Glass Wheeljack. I really hope that you enjoyed this little look at him. Don't forget as well to vote for the next custom to feature in the custom showcase. And until next time, take care guys. I'll see you later.